Welcome back for another video. There's 3 deadlines in 8 days from this Saturday, so potential to make big rank gains over the next week or so. What are the experts doing with their teams this week? In this video we'll break the data down with their most transferred players, captaincy, the experts team and some final thoughts. Starting off with the manager highlight. On top of the experts leagues, a new name, FPL Creed, after a score of 60 points last game week, and he's moved inside the top 1k. The biggest score in the league was 79, and well done if you managed to beat the average score in the league of 56. The overall average was 49. There's currently 5 experts already in the top 10k, and there's 14 in the top 50k. Just as a general question on this series, do you like the manager highlights at the start of these videos or not interested? Do let me know in the comments. Moving on to transfer activity, 37% are rolling this week, 43% of the experts making 1 move and 18% making 2, a couple are making 3 transfers. Now of course a huge factor this week is Cunha's potential ban and whether that happens straight away this game week or not. At the time of recording on Thursday, he's got until tonight to respond to the charge. Mark from Scout did some further digging on this, and Kudus had until the 24th October to respond to his ban, and the punishment didn't come until the 6th November. Gibbs White had until the 27th September to respond, and he received his on the 18th October, same for Bentancur. So there were gaps in all 3 cases from the response deadline to when the punishment was enacted, so he's not 100% out just yet. Let's have a look at who the most popular transfers are among the experts then. This week 17% are planning to sell Cunha, almost entirely buying Isak, who 14% are buying. The popular transfer in this week is Robinson. 31% are buying the Fulham fullback, with 38% selling Aït-Nouri, who's of course suspended, and when he is back from suspension he's still 1 yellow card from a ban. 6 assists this season for Robinson, albeit from 2.1 expected assists, so some overperformance there, but he's only 4.8 mil, and you'd be happy enough starting him in 5 of the next 6 games. Southampton, Bournemouth, Ipswich, West Ham and Leicester. Just that Chelsea game you'd probably bench him. 3 home games in there, 2 away games. Are there any other good Aït-Nouri replacements? 9% are planning to buy Anderson, subject to him being available, which is doubtful currently, though he's only 4.2 mil, which would be incredible value if available. And of course some will buy him anyway if they don't need to play him this week and you can start him in a couple of weeks time. A few are buying Colwell and Hall as well. 5% are buying Enzo, 3 goals 3 assists in his last 6 games, returning in every game. He's created 14 chances over that run, including 6 big chances. He's proven to be incredible value for 5.1 mil. However, Ahmad is their favoured budget mid who 9% are looking to buy after that 13 pointer against Man City, with Bournemouth and Wolves up next as well. He's 5.2 mil. Only Salah's got more goal contributions than him over the last 6 games with 7 returns. Though as we said, Enzo himself just behind with 6 goal contributions. Is anyone considering the Ahmad and Enzo double up in midfield? After their League Cup defeat, Thomas Frank revealed that Van den Berg's got a groin injury and Pinnock's picked up a hamstring injury, which could be good news for Wood owners I suppose. 3% are buying him this week, he's a possible Cunha replacement. 2% are picking Trent up this week. He did start in the League Cup midweek, but he came off at half time for Gomez, so 45 minutes each. Salah, Alisson and Van Dijk got a full rest, not named in the squad at all. This was how Arsenal lined up in the League Cup. So Timber and Raya, the only main FPL assets who started. Saliba, Gabriel, Ødegaard and Saka all came off the bench in the second half as they went on to knock Palace out to reach the semi-finals. There's been quite a few comments about a wildcard this week, so I've put one together here, and I guess it's an opportunity to discuss what might be the best team right now and where the game's headed in the coming game weeks. I went with Raya in goal, Robinson, Gabriel and Trent in defence, Ahmad, Palmer, Saka and Salah in midfield, with Wood, João Pedro and Isak up top, and on the bench Fabianski, Enzo, Colwell and Mykolenko. I couldn't squeeze Jackson in over João Pedro due to budget, so instead the triple up is double midfield and Colwell. Mykolenko is sitting last on the bench for that potential double Gameweek 24 for Everton and Liverpool. There's a nice rotation between the budget picks. When Ahmad's away to Liverpool in Gameweek 20, Wood's got Wolves then, and Colwell and Enzo have got Palace, and Robinson's home to Ipswich. And when Wood's got Liverpool in Gameweek 21, Ahmad's home to Southampton, João Pedro's got Ipswich, Chelsea home to Bournemouth and so on. I don't expect all that many of you have still got your wildcards, but would you agree with the team picked here? It's a flexible 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 thanks to Ahmad and Enzo being so cheap. Could even play 4 at the back some weeks if need be. I'd 0.3 mil left in the bank, but obviously team budget dependent affording this. Moving on to experts captaincy for Gameweek 17. Man City have actually got the early kickoff for the next 3 straight game weeks by the way, so if you're still holding on to Lewis at this point, there could be some early team news to help out there. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on the deadline streams where we cover all the early team news. This week, Salah leads quite comfortably with 85%, and then it's Palmer with 12%, and Haaland, Isak and Saka captained by 1 each. It seems somewhat obvious backing the top scoring player in the game against a Spurs side that will leave plenty of space in between the lines, Liverpool ruthless on the counter, and obviously Spurs missing several key players at the back. Last season, Palmer blanked away at Goodison Park, however he did score 4 times when he played them home for a 26-pointer. What do FPL review projections say this week? It is pretty close, however it is Salah ahead on 6.9, then it's Palmer on 6.6, and then it's Isak and Haaland. I'll stick a captain poll up on Friday as always to see who you're backing, but for now leave a comment below of your pick. Onto the Experts template for Gameweek 17, and there's a couple of changes to the team. It's actually a 4-3-3 this week. The team is Raya, Hall, Trent, Gabriel, Robinson, Palmer, Saka, Salah, João Pedro, Cunha and Jackson. The bench is Fabianski, Semenyo, Rodgers and Greaves. So Aït-Nouri leaves the team and Robinson joins. Greaves is becoming a bit of an issue as well recently. McKenna tends not to have centre-backs on the bench in his squad, so we've seen Greaves miss out recently, while Burgess and O'Shea have done pretty well as a centre-back pairing. These guys are 4 mil for a reason though. It's rare that we get one that's a game breaker. O'Shea is the top scoring 4 mil defender with just 21 points. Bednarek's on 17 points. Van den Berg has 21 points for 4.1 mil, but now he's got the potential groin injury, which underlines the potential of Anderson and Mykolenko really for slightly more at 4.2 and 4.3 mil, but neither look like good transfers to pick up this week, unless Anderson's available. Palmer sits at 100% ownership, every single expert has him, Salah 99%, Saka 94% among the experts. Rodgers and Semenyo are still in the template team, they aren't necessarily bad picks. They're not eating up loads of budget, and Semenyo came pretty close to a return last game week again, but it does certainly feel like Ahmad and Enzo flavour of the month right now. Will they sustain their form enough to join the team soon though? Onto the experts' final thoughts and tips for Gameweek 17. Conkers Bonkers says, I'm currently at 35k in the world, and I'm feeling pretty positive about my squad as a whole, with the exception of Greaves, who simply isn't worth wasting a transfer out. I remember the old FPL Christmas saying, 'tis the season to be rested. Crazy couple of weeks coming up, so good luck everyone. Jocko says, 2 minds whether to stick or twist this week. Frustrations around not gaining rank quick enough are starting to kick in. My decision this week is either to roll, taking it to 3 next week, or take a -8. I'm likely to stick and not chase points that have already gone, but I do feel there are several new player opportunities emerging. Ash Patel says, I should have stuck with rolling transfers. I used my 2 free transfers to bring in Trent and Enzo for Lewis and Mbeumo, and of course Mbeumo punished me. Silver lining was that I benched Aït-Nouri, and Porro coming off the Spurs bench saved Aït-Nouri coming off my bench. I now have 1 free transfer of Aït-Nouri and potentially Cunha to deal with. If Cunha is suspended, I think I'll have to bring in Isak, but that means a -4 hit to fund the move and getting a 4.3 mil defender for Porro, while still having the suspended Aït-Nouri. I'm hoping Cunha's ban doesn't come into effect yet, so I can roll the transfer and make the moves next week while avoiding a hit. The joys of FPL. I should have had 3 free transfers this week, instead I'm looking at a -4 thanks to 3 potential suspensions in my team. FPL Obsessed Family says, until we get some clarity on the potential Cunha ban, it's looking like I'll keep things simple this game, we can just sell Aït-Nouri. Getting Isak is tempting, but if Cunha's available for Leicester, he'll get 1 more week. And lastly, Villa says, Cunha needs to go. The question for me is if to go Isak or Wood, as I already have João Pedro and Nicholas Jackson. I could have done Wood for free, but I decided to take the -4 to go to Isak instead, and downgrade Vardiol to Anderson, with Milenkovic already being in the team. It could backfire, but the upside of Isak is huge, as he's arguably the best striker in the game at the moment, so he's worth the downgrade in defence for me. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe before you go if this was helpful. There's more Gameweek 17 content on screen now. See you soon for the next one.